Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, The Spiritual Gateway. So today's video is a past life regression with Kelly. She agreed to put the video on here, so thank you so much, Kelly. As with all my clients, I'm always grateful when they're happy to share their experience with you. Also, you'll see that I have taken out the hypnosis part. The only reason I've done that is because it's a bit boring and I didn't want the video too long. I've got nothing to hide with the hypnosis. You can look up how to do it, that's not a problem. It's just that that would be boring. So this goes straight into the juicy details. You'll see that Kelly had a really lovely life. It wasn't traumatic in any way. She was very happy. The year was 1908 she went back to, and she says that she lived in a castle. Afterwards, when we spoke about it, she said it was like they lived in part of the castle. They didn't have the whole castle, it was part of the castle. So she wasn't royalty. But the nice thing about this session is, as she talks, she's very clear. So you get a real sense of what's going on and what that life was like, who she was and what she did with that life. When she died, she saw her death scene as always. She went up to the spirit world and she had contact with her spirit guide, who is called Toby. Everyone has spirit guides. It's just one of many, but this particular spirit guide she'd spoken to before, so she knew Toby. So he came forward, he gave us some very clear messages about that past life and things she needed to know now, which I thought was really nice as well. And afterwards she said that when he hugged her, she not only could see him visually and sense him, but she actually physically felt the touch as well, which I think is nice. She said it felt very safe, obviously not a horrible touch, just she felt him hug her. So yeah, it was a really lovely session. So without further ado, let's get into it, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoyed doing it. Thank you so much, Kelly, and I'll see you all the next time. Bye for now. Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me on my YouTube channel, The Spiritual Gateway, and this is a past life session with the lovely Kelly, who has kindly agreed to share her session with you. So without further ado, let's get into it. I want you to see yourself, put your hand on that door, push that door open and step through into your past life. See yourself take a few more steps forward and just focus down on your feet. If you can't see them, feel them. Really feel if they're in shoes or if they're barefoot. So really get a sense of your feet and tell me, are you in shoes or are you barefoot?
In shoes.
Okay. And as you can get a sense of wearing shoes, does it feel like you're standing on something hard or soft?
Soft.
Okay. I want you to start raising your eyes, start bringing your gaze upwards and start taking notice of where you are. And tell me, have you stepped indoors or outdoors?
Outdoors.
And what does outdoors look like?
Lots of grass and a big castle.
Okay. And the castle, is that your home?
Yes.
Do you live there or do you work there?
I live there.
Okay. I'm going to do some quick fire questions. So I'm going to count down from 3 to 1. And when I get to 1, you're going to be able to tell me the answer. So the first thing I'm going to ask you is if you're male or female. So 3, 2, 1. Are you a man or a woman?
Woman.
Okay. And 3, 2, 1. What's your name?
Lucy.
And 3, 2, 1. How old are you?
9.
And I'm going to ask whereabouts in the world you are. So 3, 2, 1. Where are you?
England.
Okay. And also what the year. So just say the first thing that pops into your mind. So 3, 2, 1. What's the year?
1908.
Did you say 18 or 19?
1908.
Okay, perfect. So you're Lucy, you're 9, you're in England, it's 1908. You live in this castle. Do you feel happy? How do you feel? Really tune into your feelings. How are you feeling?
Happy.
Okay. Who do you live with?
Mum and dad and brother.
What's your brother's name?
David.
And what's mum and dad's names?
Barbara and Tony.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so let's move this scene forward a bit. Let's go forward a couple of hours and see what happens next. So we're at 3, moving forward, 2, going forward just by a couple of hours, 1, you're there now. Are you indoors or outdoors?
Indoors.
And is that inside the castle?
Yeah.
And what does that look like?
Very nice.
Okay. And I'm assuming you've got a really nice life.
Yes.
Do you go to school or do you get taught in the castle?
I don't go to school. Learn at home.
Okay. Do you have friends?
Only one.
Okay. Are you a bit lonely?
Little bit.
But happy?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to count down from 3 to 1 and we're going to go to the next significant scene in Lucy's life. So that could be a few years ahead or a few months. Let's see where it takes us. So we're at 3 and we're moving forward to going forward to the next significant scene in her life. 1, you're there now. Tell me, are you indoors or outdoors?
Indoors.
How old are you now?
18.
Okay. And what's happening?
Met a man.
And what's he like?
Very tall.
What's his name?
Matthew.
And are you in love with him?
Yes.
And is he good and nice to you?
Yes.
And are you going to get married to him?
Yes.
Do your parents like him?
Yes.
Is he from a nice family?
Yes.
Is he from a wealthy family?
No.
Oh, how did you meet him?
He works nearby where I live.
Okay. But your family are happy with that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so let's go forward again to the next significant scene in Lucy's life. So we're at 3, moving forward. 2, going forward so easily to the next significant scene in her life. 1, you're there now. What's happening? Are you indoors or outdoors?
Indoors.
And where is indoors?
A little cottage.
And is that your home now?
Yeah.
How old are you now?
25.
Okay. And are you happily married to Matthew?
Yes.
And how are things going?
Good.
Do you have any children?
One on the way.
Ah, okay. Is the cottage in the castle grounds?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And Matthew still works?
Yes.
Okay. So everything's going well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So again, let's go forward and counting down from 3 to 1 to the next significant scene in Lucy's life. We're at 3, moving forward. 2, going forward to the next significant scene. 1, You're there now. Tell me, are you indoors or outdoors?
Indoors.
And what's happening now?
Playing for my child.
What did you have, a boy or a girl?
Boy.
What's his name?
Paul.
Say again.
Paul.
Okay. How old are you now?
28.
And are things still going well?
Yes.
Okay. And you still feel happy?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so again, we're going to move forward to the next significant scene in her life. We're at 3, moving forward. 2, going forward to the next significant scene. 1, you're there now. Are you indoors or outdoors?
Indoors.
And what's happening now?
Teaching my son.
Okay, what are you teaching him?
How to spell.
Okay. Is he your only child?
Yes.
Okay. And how are you doing now?
Good.
And you're still happily married?
Yes.
Excellent. So all is going well.
Yeah.
Good. So we're going to move forward again. Let's go forward to the next significant scene in her life. We're at 3, moving forward. 2, going forward to the next significant scene. 1, you're there now. Are you indoors or outdoors?
Indoors.
Okay. And what's happening now?
My son's leaving home.
Ah, so he's older, is he? How does that feel?
Very sad.
Okay. How old are you now?
40.
Okay. Are things still going okay for you?
Yeah.
Where's your son going?
Going off to work.
Okay. What's your husband saying? Is he still around, your husband?
Yes, he's still there.
Okay. So your son's going, you feel sad, but obviously he's got to go, hasn't he?
Yeah.
What about your parents? Have they passed now?
No.
They're still going? Excellent. Okay. So let's move forward again. We're going to the next significant scene. So we're at 3, moving forward. 2, going to the next significant scene in her life. 1, you're there now. Are you indoors or outdoors?
Outdoors.
And what's happening now?
Moved house.
Okay. How old are you?
45.
Okay. Where have you moved to?
The next village.
Why have you moved?
Because the house felt too empty.
Okay. How are things going?
Good.
Okay. Are you in touch with your son though?
He writes.
Okay. Okay. So we've got quite a lot of information about her life and how it's going. I think we've reached the point now where we're just going to go to her last ever scene, the scene where she dies. You're going to see it just before she dies. So I'm going to count you down to that last ever scene of her life. So we're at 3, moving forward. 2, going forward to her last ever scene where she dies. 1, you're there now. Are you inside or outside?
Inside.
How old are you?
80.
Okay, so you lived quite a good life. I want you to look back over your life as Lucy and tell me, as she reflects on her life, what does she think?
She's happy.
Yeah, okay. So, and what is she dying of? What's going on?
She has a fit.
Oh, okay. Is her husband still alive?
No.
No. Okay. All right. So I want you to see her at that point where she takes her last breath. I'm going to count down from 3 to 1. And when I get to 1, you're going to see that last breath. So we're at 3, 2, 1. She's taking her last breath now. And as you see that, I want you to tell me what happens next.
You can see her on the floor.
Yeah. Are you looking from above?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're floating above her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I want you to move forward and tell me what happens next. As you see her on the floor, do you start to float away?
Yeah.
And how does that feel? How do you feel?
I feel sad
Why are you sad?
because she's alone.
Oh, okay. So keep going, keep floating. Tell me what you see next.
Everything's getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah. And where are you going as you go up? What can you see?
Bright lights.
Okay. So go towards those bright lights. See yourself reach that light. See yourself enter that light. How does that feel?
Feels really nice.
Okay. And as you get into that light, I want you to see yourself go through the other side of that light and step through it, and tell me what you step into.
It's beautiful.
What does it look like? Can you explain it?
Just full of really nice people. Very pretty. Very
Yeah.
calm. Lovely
Lovely.
scent.
Excellent. Okay, so while you're there, you're now in the spirit world. I want you to see someone walking towards you. And that person walking towards you is one of your spirit guides. And they're coming towards you, and they reach you and they hug you, and you can actually feel that hug, and they feel so familiar to you. And I want you to tell me, is your spirit guide male or female?
Male.
And I want you to ask him, but just ask in your head and just tell me what he says back. What's his name?
Toby.
Okay. And I want you to ask him, what was the lesson in that life that you just saw? And then tell me what he says.
To love.
It's about love.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else he wants to tell you about that life that you need to know?
No.
Okay. And I want you to ask him, what can you bring from that life into this current life? And tell me what he says.
To feel content.
Yeah. Is there anything else?
No.
Okay. And ask him, are you on the right path currently?
No.
You're not. Okay. What do you need to do to get on the right path?
Take charge.
Okay. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else he needs to tell you to help you right now?
Trust.
And ask him, can you tune into him at any time and ask for guidance?
Yes.
And how will you know it's him that's giving you the information?
I can feel it.
Okay. Is there anything else he needs to tell you?
Stop putting myself down.
Yeah.
Have more confidence. Believe in myself.
Yeah. Okay. If he's finished giving you all his messages, can you just check that's the case?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to see him walking along with you, and you find yourself back on a path that leads back to that wall with the door in. And you reach that door, and he opens the door for you. Toby opens the door. And on the other side is back into your garden. So he gives you one last hug. And he says goodbye, and you step back through into your garden, and Toby shuts the door. You see yourself walking along that path back to this comfortable seating area. And I want you to sit down in that area and really feel yourself, feel your feet on the ground, really ground yourself back into this life. I want you to take a nice deep breath in and out. And in a moment, I'm going to count down from 5 to 1. And when I get to 1, you're going to open your eyes. So we're at 5, 4, starting to become aware. 3, 2, fully aware. 1, when you're ready, open your eyes.